The story begins with Scott Shaw, a concerned father searching for his missing daughter in a small mountain town. She hasn't contacted him in days, which is completely out of character. As he asks around, no one in the town seems interested in helping him. Most people act like it's no big deal. At a local bar, a man tells Scott that he did see his daughter and her friends, but they went into the woods, and people who enter those woods don't usually come back. The story jumps back 6 weeks earlier. We meet Jennifer Shaw, Scott's daughter, as she sets out on a hiking trip with her college friends and boyfriend. On the way they get a flat tire and Jennifer ends up changing it on the side of the road. What they don't know is that someone is watching them from the woods. That night they check into a local inn and go to the bar. There they meet a man named Nate Rhodes, who warns them to stay on the Appalachian Trail and not to veer off. Jennifer brushes him off, thinking he's just being a grumpy local, and tells him they can take care of themselves. Nate gives her a half smile and says he hopes so. Jennifer's group doesn't quite fit in with the conservative locals of West Virginia. Her friends include her boyfriend Darius Clemens, her best friend Mila and Mila's boyfriend Adam, along with another couple, Gary and Luis. You can see how the locals might judge this diverse, free-spirited group. That night, Jennifer leaves a voicemail for her dad, probably the last time he heard from her before she disappeared. The next morning the group sets off into the woods for their hike. Darius mentions there's an old Civil War battleground a little off the trail and suggests they go check it out. Jennifer's hesitant but eventually agrees. As they're making their way through the forest, a giant tree suddenly comes crashing down the hill and slams into them. Gary is crushed between two trees and killed instantly. Luis is devastated, but the others insist they have to move or they'll be caught in the storm. They hike for hours, lost and soaked in rain, and finally decide to camp overnight. The next morning things are even worse. Their phones are gone and Mila is missing. Jennifer says she thought she heard something the night before but assumed she was dreaming. Turns out, someone had crept into their camp and stolen their phones. They suspect whoever took the phones also took Mila. Suddenly, Adam steps into a trap. A rope wraps around his leg and yanks him into a pit. Jennifer wants to go get help, thinking they'll need backup to fight off whoever's out there. But as they begin moving, they see two people in ghillie suits carrying Adam on a wooden stretcher. The group demands they let him go. When they do, Adam snaps. He thinks they've killed Mila and beats one of the men to death with a log. But then Mila shows up. Turns out she had just gone off to pee in the woods. Adam killed a man for nothing. The other man in the suit runs off, presumably to get reinforcements. Jennifer wants to call the cops, but Adam insists they keep quiet and pretend like none of this ever happened. The others agree. Before they can even begin finding their way back, they're ambushed again. The mountain people are chasing them through the woods. During the chaos, Mila falls into a hidden pit full of spikes and is killed. Adam, instead of mourning his girlfriend, runs away. But he's soon caught by another trap and captured. Eventually, Darius and Jennifer are also found and taken by the forest dwellers. Now they've either been killed or captured. Back in the present, Scott is calling Jennifer, just checking in. He's responding to the voicemail she left him and wonders why she hasn't picked up. She's usually quick to respond. Still, he tells himself she's probably just having a good time. We then see Jennifer again. She wakes up at the bottom of a pit. A ladder is lowered and she's told to climb up. At the top, she sees Darius, Adam, and Luis, tied up with bags over their heads. A bag is then placed over her own head, and they're all taken into what looks like a village hidden within the mountain. Inside a cave-like courtroom, they meet Venable, the leader of the secret society. This is where things get serious. They're being put on trial for the murder of Samuel, the man Adam killed earlier. Another man named Morgan explains that he and Samuel had just been checking their game traps when they found Adam unconscious. They were planning to carry him down the mountain to keep him from becoming buzzard food. They weren't trying to hurt anyone. But Adam panicked and beat Samuel to death, thinking they'd harmed Mila. Venable explains that their society believes in holding people accountable for their actions, and Adam committed murder, even if it was a misunderstanding. He turns to Jennifer and asks her point blank, "Did Adam kill Samuel?" Adam begs her not to say anything, but Venable wants honesty. And in this hidden, self-governed world deep in the woods, the truth comes with a heavy price. Jennifer lies and says Adam didn't kill Samuel. But Venable isn't stupid. He knows she's protecting her friend. Because of the lie, he sentences all of them, Jennifer, Darius, and Luis, to darkness, and Adam to death for Samuel's murder. Venable had been willing to let Jennifer go if she had told the truth, but she chose to cover for Adam, and now they're all being punished. Venable then carries out the execution in front of everyone. He asks how Samuel was killed, and when they say he was struck in the head, Venable uses a massive club and smashes Adam's skull, killing him the same way Samuel died. He tells the group that they are not the savages here, and none of this would have happened if Adam hadn't attacked first. The rest are taken to be imprisoned. Darkness means they'll be thrown into deep cave cells alone with no light. Just before being locked up, Luis tries to run, but he doesn't get far. They catch him, burn out his eyes, and toss him into the darkness anyway. As Jennifer and Darius are about to be locked up too, Jennifer begs Venable to reconsider. She says they can actually bring value to the community. Darius is smart and could help them build infrastructure, and she offers herself as a wife. Venable likes that idea. He agrees to let them live under one condition: they must become part of the Foundation. If they try to run, they'll be executed. Later that night, Jennifer and Venable sleep together, and he tells her she will now be his wife. Back in town, Scott is still searching for his daughter. While eating at a diner, a woman approaches and says she warned those kids not to leave the trail. She tells him there's a hidden society up in the mountains, people who live off the grid. If Jennifer and her friends went even a little off the marked path, they were probably captured to become workers or worse. Scott insists he's going to find her, and the woman offers to connect him with her nephew, someone who's had run-ins with the Foundation before and hates them. The catch: Scott has to pay him. The nephew agrees, but their hike barely begins when a massive spike trap falls from the trees and kills the guy instantly. Now Scott is on his own, walking into the heart of enemy territory. Sure enough, he's captured by the Foundation and brought to their village. To his shock, he finds Jennifer and Darius, but they're different. They act like they belong there now. When Scott is accused of trespassing, Venable announces he'll be sentenced to darkness too. Scott pleads with Jennifer to help him, but she acts like she doesn't even know him. That night, once everyone's asleep, Jennifer sneaks out to the pit where her dad is being kept. She tells him to stay quiet, they're getting out. She goes to Darius and tries to bring him along, but he's completely brainwashed. He refuses to leave, saying the Foundation is where he belongs now. Luckily, one of the younger girls in the village, who had grown fond of Jennifer, helps them escape through a secret tunnel. Jennifer promises she'll never forget her. Jennifer and Scott rush down the mountain. Soon they start seeing lights, and they're not Foundation lights. It's Nate and some other locals from town. They've come to help. Jennifer tells them everyone else is gone, it's just her and her dad now. As they try to leave, Foundation members appear, shouting after Jennifer, warning her she'll regret leaving. Nate throws a Molotov cocktail at them, creating a wall of fire. Then they all run for the truck and speed off down the mountain. Jennifer looks back one last time and sees Venable, standing behind the flames, glaring at her. A few days later, Jennifer is back in normal society, living with her mom and trying to adjust. She's lost nearly all her friends and carries deep emotional scars. But things get even worse. She comes home one day and finds Venable sitting at the dining table, having coffee with her mother. He says he's just in town looking at houses and thought he'd stop by to visit. Jennifer looks like she's going to be sick. To make it even more twisted, she's pregnant with his child. She tells him she'll return with them to the mountains, but only if they promise not to hurt her family. Venable agrees. They all head outside and climb into the van. But as they're driving, the vehicle suddenly starts swerving. Jennifer has turned on them. She kills everyone in the van, except for the little girl from the Foundation who had helped her escape before. She lets the girl live. And that's how the movie ends. Jennifer is still pregnant with Venable's child, but at least she's free, and he's gone for good. If you enjoy deep dive recaps like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment and let us know which movie you'd love to see next.